Joining us to break it down and the tech industry's brand new world is HPE CEO Antonio Neri. Great to have you, Antonio. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Carl.
I think that figure is, over the past 18 weeks or so?
Yeah, actually, in Q2 alone, we booked those $800 million, but the pipeline grew in just 120 days to $2.6 billion.
So how are you framing it for customers, at least?
Well, customers are looking to get access to this latest innovation. We call it generative AI, but they want to train data in a private way. And so this is where, they need a supercompute power. And not all of them can build it. So this is why HPE is uniquely positioned to capture that opportunity.
We talk a lot about whether or not this kind of spend will be cannibalistic to other legacy kinds of spends in the enterprise. Is that near being true?
No, I don't see it that way because we're talking a complete different workload. So when we think about AI, we talk about a different workload than general productivity workloads like email, databases, and the like. And that requires a complete different infrastructure to run it. So that's why, to me, it's incremental. And ultimately, what customers are driving today is a data-first modernization of their business, and AI is there to aid that modernization.
Do you think investors get it, or do you think they're just focused on the Microsofts of the world and the sort of software as a service companies that have pivoted to AI instead as the shiny new object?
Well, I think they will get it more next week. When we are at HPE Discover in Vegas, we're going to make a series of, I think, breakthrough announcements. Obviously, they're all focused on the big clouds because they believe they're the best position. But to deliver a supercomputer is a completely different architecture than traditional cloud. Think about cloud as we know it today is a capacity cloud. We share everything, meaning the infrastructure and the services. When you talk about AI workload, it's a dedicated infrastructure for a large workload. And that's why supercomputers are becoming very relevant in this new world because you need to process a much bigger amount.
Who else does it?
Actually, not many people. So that's the beauty about our position in the market because we are the market leader when it comes down to supercomputers. We are actually the market leader. We have the top third of the top 500 supercomputers in the world. And that's a big advantage.
And what chips power that? Now we're all focused on the chip race to AI.
All of them. Actually, that's an interesting question because obviously NVIDIA has a unique position in the market. But if you think about the largest supercomputer, the exascale system with Frontier, or the new one, which is going to be 2 exaflops with Aurora, is actually both AMD and Intel.
And Intel?
And Intel. Aurora is an Intel-based system.
Huh. What's happening to enterprise spending ex-AI?
I think there are pockets of slowdown, no question, in the traditional infrastructure space, whether it's compute and storage. We're going through that cyclical phase where there is digestion of what was bought early in 2022 because of the supply chain challenges. But there are significant pockets of growth. So if you want to digitize your enterprise, you need to be connected. So the connectivity networking space is very steady. And obviously, as data growth, you need to store and manage that data. So we see the ups and downs, but on an aggregate, over the long term, this space will continue to grow.
And where would you say in terms of customer silos, industry silos, and geographic silos?
Yeah.
Where's that holding up the best?
Well, we talked about this in Q2. So interesting enough, Europe is holding very well. So Asia, North America has been actually the one that has been slowing the most. But when you think about the customer segmentation, obviously, the financial services has been the most impacted because of the crisis. But when you go to manufacturing, healthcare is very important, actually has been very, very steady.